When people talk about billion-dollar companies, they imagine certainty. They imagine founders who always knew where they were going. They imagine perfect timing, perfect strategy, and perfect control. But real business history is uncomfortable, because the most valuable companies in the world were not built by certainty. They were built by obsession, by frustration, by people trying to fix one small problem that no one else took seriously. And sometimes the people who solve those problems don't survive the success that follows. This is not a story about genius alone. It's a story about power. Because once money enters the picture, ideas stop belonging to people. They start belonging to systems. And systems do not reward loyalty. They reward control. This is the story of an idea so small it cost $5 to test. An idea so simple it was almost ignored. An idea that quietly reshaped how the world works. And the man who created it was eventually removed from the empire it built. Not because he failed, but because he succeeded too well. Welcome to Finance Unmasked. To understand how this happens, you have to go back to a world that no longer exists. A world before laptops, before cloud storage, before touchscreens. In the early 1970s, information moved slowly, painfully slowly. Every document was physical, typed by hand, copied manually, filed into cabinets that filled entire rooms. If a single sentence was wrong, the page was useless. If a paragraph needed to change, the entire document had to be retyped. Mistakes were expensive. Time was wasted. Creativity was punished. Most people accepted this as normal. But one engineer didn't. He wasn't trying to start a company. He wasn't chasing investors. He wasn't thinking about markets. He was angry. Angry at inefficiency, angry at repetition, angry at the idea that thoughts had to become permanent the moment they were written. He believed words should behave like ideas, flexible, editable, alive. That belief led to a question that sounded ridiculous at the time. What if writing didn't have to be final? What if words on a screen could be moved, deleted, rewritten? Today, that sounds obvious. Back then, it sounded pointless. Computers were not personal tools. They were corporate machines. They were expensive, rare, and intimidating. No one believed ordinary people would ever write on them. But the engineer ignored that belief. He spent $5 to rent computer time. $5 to test a crude idea. $5 to see if writing could change forever. The first version was ugly, slow, limited. But it did one thing no one had seen before. It let text move. When users tried it, something strange happened. They didn't ask for instructions. They didn't ask for manuals. They understood it immediately. And once they used it, they refused to go back. Because this wasn't just software, it was freedom. Freedom from mistakes, freedom from rigidity, freedom from starting over. Businesses adopted it quietly at first, then urgently. Lawyers, accountants, executives, people whose time was expensive, every minute saved felt like profit. That's when the idea stopped being small. Demand grew faster than the founder expected. Faster than he wanted. To keep up, he needed resources. And resources meant investors. Investors arrived with smiles, with praise, with promises. They talked about growth, scale, dominance. At first, their interests aligned. The company expanded, revenue climbed, valuations rose. The idea that cost $5 was now worth millions. And that's when the tension began, because founders and investors don't want the same thing. Founders want control. Investors want returns. Founders think long-term. Investors think in exit strategies. As the company grew, the boardroom changed. More financial minds, fewer technical ones. Decisions shifted. What was once about solving problems became about capturing markets. The founder resisted. He believed growth should serve users, not the other way around. But resistance is dangerous when money is involved. Meetings happened without him. Strategies were rewritten. Authority quietly moved elsewhere. And then came the moment every founder fears. A vote. No shouting, no drama, just paperwork. The man who created the product, the company, the entire vision, was removed. Officially, it was called a transition, a restructuring, a strategic decision. In reality, it was simple. He no longer controlled what he had built. The company moved on without him. Under new leadership, it became aggressive. Acquisitions multiplied. Licensing deals expanded. The software became unavoidable, installed everywhere, embedded into daily life. Today, that company is worth over $100 billion. And the founder? Most users don't know his name. This is not an exception. It's a pattern. Because capitalism does not reward creation, it rewards ownership. And ownership belongs to those who control capital. The same story repeats across history. Innovators create, institutions consolidate, individuals are replaced. The system praises founders until they become inconvenient. Then they are rewritten out of the narrative. This is why modern entrepreneurship is so dangerous. You don't lose when you fail. You lose when you succeed without power. Because once your idea becomes valuable enough, someone else will want to decide its future. And they will have the money to do it. So what is the real lesson of the $5 idea? It's not that anyone can build a billion-dollar company. It's that ideas are only safe while they are small. The moment they scale, they stop belonging to you. They belong to the system that feeds on growth. This is the hidden cost of success. And it's why the most dangerous words in business are never spoken aloud. You are no longer necessary.